Hello everyone, Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. I'm just sitting doing a bit knitting. My granddaughter was going to come up this afternoon and help me and do some of the work in the garden, but we have forecast rain and the garden is very wet at the moment because we must have had a lot of rain during the night and that, I think. So I said, oh, leave it tomorrow. I says it may be better tomorrow, Cheryl. I says the kids is just going to be up to the eyes in clots, aren't they? Because they'll be running over the soil and wonder what they're like. So I'm just sitting doing a bit knitting, but I had thought I'd do a bit tidying up. My room needed a good vacuum, my workroom. So I got my vacuum out and I started vacuuming. Oh, it doesn't seem to be picking up as well as it normally did. It's a Dyson that I have. I thought, oh, maybe there's a little bit hair on the brush. That's because when you go across the floor, you usually see like the marks where the brush goes across the floor, but it was just looking smooth. I thought maybe there's a bit of hair on the bottom. A bit of hair was an understatement. I forget about the brush on the bottom of the vacuum. I think the last time it had a good clean was my son was helping me decorate. One time he was up one weekend and he was helping me decorate in the living room, I think it was, and he got the vacuum out to clear some of the mess off the floor, and he said to me, "Do you never clean the bottom of this vacuum?" He says, "Have you seen all the hair on this brush?" He says, "There's more hair on this brush than what's on your head." I was saying, "Oh, shut up, man, just get it cleaned, you know." But that was a job my husband always used to do. You know, he used to look after the vacuum and things like that. But I mean, he's been gone 11 years. But anyway, I'm going to show you a little video of what I had to do with this vacuum. When I turned the vacuum over, I couldn't believe how much hair was on. I should have videoed it and showed you the hair before, but I'm just showing you what I had to do afterwards. So I'll stop the video and then I'll come back again. So this is the bottom of my Dyson vacuum, and there was me, hair. You couldn't see the brush at all. It was completely covered in hair, and I was going with a pair of scissors like this, cutting, trying to get it off, and I just could not get it off. It was pulling, you know, when I was cutting bits off and pulling it, it just would not come out. I thought there must be an easier way than this. And then I saw the 3 screws up here, and they look like they've been, but they're not very, you know, you can see the marks around them. So I went downstairs and found a 2p coin in my purse. Look, about that size. Put them in. Now, I've had this vacuum for a lot of years. When my husband was alive, now he was the one that used to do things like this. So just turn that, there, and there was as easy as that. The number of times I've had to do that on the brush and never realised I could just take that cover off. Then all I have to do now is I've cleaned it all out and I've actually washed the parts that were really scruffy, like them. You don't realise how dirty your carpets are till you see what's on the bottom of your vacuum. No, I can't do that with one hand. I need both hands to put it back on, because I'm holding my phone with one hand, and so I just have to put that back on again. I can't do it with one hand. If I'm pushing one side in, the other side's coming out. I need both hands to do this. So that's all you have to do with your Dyson to get the hairs out of the brush. So that's how easy it is to get the cover off on a Dyson vacuum. It's not something I've really ever done before on that vacuum, and my husband used to take care of all things like that, and my sons, when they were here, they've done all them sort of things too. So The only time I've ever maybe had to turn it over an odd time and just clip, maybe it's only been a little bit hair off, you know, that you could have pulled off, but I'm going to show you what was on this time. The reason it wasn't really picking up very well and it was going very smooth across the carpet. That's what was on the brush. My hair, that's my hair. Now I know where it's all been disappearing to, because it is getting a bit thin on the top. It's all wrapped around the brush on the vacuum. So if you're having a little bit trouble with your vacuum like that, check the brush. But you know, I cleaned it and it was amazing how much, when I could take the cover off and see, you could see right underneath the brush and everything, there was layers and layers of muck. That's all I can say, it's muck. And it come off. Where does all that muck come from? You know, your carpets are clean, you're vacuuming them all the time. Where does them? They must come off your shoes. Because I don't think there's, you know, mud gets tramped into my house and that, so I don't know where all that dirt and that was on the bottom of that vacuum came from. But it's all clean now and hairless now for however long, I don't know, but my son was right when he said there was more hair on the bottom of the vacuum than what was on my head. And he said, you know, I've got 3 sons and they haven't got a head of hair between them. They've all lost the hair. And he said, well, I don't have that problem. I said, well, you've got no hair, have you? I says, it's just us with long hair. So if you've got long hair and you're having trouble with your vacuum, just check the bottom, the brush on it. But I vacuumed a little bit afterwards, and you know that when you look at the brush, it has like separate little clumps of little hair, little brush things all along. And when I used to vacuum, you could see the lines on the carpet that those little brushes made, but they weren't there. That was why I thought maybe I needed the bottom of the vacuum, the brush cleaning. And I vacuumed afterwards, a little bit vacuum afterwards, and I have those lines on the carpet again, so I know it's picking up better than it was before. But I'm doing this little, trying to get this little cardigan finished for my friend, because she's already started harassing me. How much of her cardigan have I got done? And I just messaged back and I said, a little bit at a time. I says, I told you when you asked me to do it that I had other ones to do. I would do a little bit in between, and that's what I've been doing, which is terrible. She can't help herself. She's got to harass me when I'm knitting anything for her. So I just want to get it finished, and I'll not get it finished for tomorrow night for the bingo, but maybe for next Monday for knitting natter. So that's what I'm going to do, try and finish this one. And I'll just finish this row and put this down because I'm almost at the end of the row. That's it. And I have finished. I showed you the little cardigan yesterday that I had finished, and I now have a little hat. So I'll be able to post that off to Patricia with the little white set that I have that I done quite some time ago, but she said to keep it until I had this one done and then post them together. That would save me a little bit postage. So that's that finished, and the little hat as well. That's all completed. I'll put that back on there. And the next one I'm doing is for my moss stitch pattern to change the picture again. I have 3 balls. This is it doesn't say Sarah Ashford on it anymore. It just says handmade with love. Don't know whether it's got any other names, but it used to have the labels, used to say Sarah Ashford, I think it was. And this was the wool from wool Home Bargains. That was at Home Bargains. The one that they're not doing anymore. And this, as you can see, this is the one with the little, it's the same as the other one that I've just done, the other little cardigan with the little cardigan, the little hat, the pink and creamy one with the little spots, just the little spots like that. I have 2 packs of these, so I can do 1 or 2 with these, but I'm just going to do a 16-inch for the picture for my pattern, to change the pattern because of all the spots of black ink I seem to be getting on it, which all I can think of is it's because of the dark colours that's around the little cardigans that I have on the pattern. But I do want to change the pattern as well, to change the number on the pattern, because I am numbering all my patterns now. I'll be changing all of them that hasn't got the number on. This one is number 2. This was my second. That one there was my first pattern, so that one is number 1, that pattern. And this one was number 2, was the second one that I'm doing the open moss stitch, this one for. And that's why I want to change it as well, because I want to change to put the pattern number on and to actually say that it's double knitting, because when anybody buys the patterns, or before they buy the pattern, sometimes they send me a message and ask me what the thickness of the wool is, so I need to put on that it's double knitting. All my patterns are double knitting. I think I have 1 chunky one. I may be doing some Aran ones sometime, but at the moment they're nearly all double knitting except that 1 chunky one. So I'm going to do a 16-inch with this because I want to do it as quickly as possible to get the picture out for the pattern. And I'll be doing a I didn't even realise when I made that pattern that there is actually a hat in the instructions, but I never showed a hat on the actual picture on the front of it. Didn't even remember that there was a hat until I was going through the pattern to knit it, because I've never knitted from it since I made the pattern. And I'm reading all the instructions through, and I said, oh, I've got a hat on here and I haven't even put a picture on the front of the hat. So that's what I'm going to do with this one, make a little pom-pom hat with this one, because it'll be for a little boy, where the other ones that I've done for the other side of the pattern is a bonnet for a little girl. So that one I'll be starting probably later on. I'm doing a little bit of this one. Like I said, I'm doing, like my friend, I'm doing a little bit here and there. She thinks, my friend Anne thinks, if I'm doing anything for her, I should just drop everything else and go straight onto hers. I have to rub it into her, you know, tell her that I don't do that. I say, I've got other things to do. But that's what I'm going to do, and I'm finishing this. The only other knitting I have is my own things, which I haven't done any more of for a while, which I'm going to have to get on to. I think after I finish this pattern, I'm going to start knitting on my own, because I do have a cardigan that I wanted to get finished for the summer, and there's a couple that were sweaters. I'm not sure one of them, I only have the back done on one of them, so I may make it into a cardigan instead of a sweater, because I'm wanting more cardigans for the summer now, sweaters for the winter. The other one is a sweater, but it's the back. I'm in the middle of the front on it anyway, so I can't change that into a cardigan. But that's what I like to do, a little bit of this and that. And I am splitting that bit of wool there. You know, sometimes when you pick a little bit of the stitch that's underneath, I can't get this stitch to, I'll have to pull the stitch out and go over it again. I'll put the needle and split the actual yarn. That's it. I've dropped the stitch down and picked it up again. So that's my little bit for today. So thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you another time. So bye for now.